Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Here's the Klone. I'm out of breath because I just ran up from the garage after testing this out for the third time. So, a couple of things. This is obviously the finished build. Everything's mounted. I haven't put the knobs on yet because I was testing and I didn't want to spend too much more time undoing things. Novice things to look out for. First thing, the foot switch. This can be wired incorrectly. Now the soldering job on this at the moment is horrible. We'll be fixing that. It was all makeshift and get it working and see what happens. Almost thought for a second that I perhaps had bought a very fancy foot switch that turns an LED on and off. So that's the first thing to look out for. The second thing to look out for is the the output. The output jack is switchable, and there are three places here I'm pointing to where they plug into. Again, messy because I was unplugging and plugging and testing out myself. What I've actually come to learn is that the center is ground and one of these is ground. Can you guess which one? No, because there are no tracks. Nothing tells you what's going to ground, and you don't know for sure at all. For a minute there I thought perhaps I had wired this incorrectly. Again, my large soldering tip burnt a little bit of the insulation here. And apart from that, everything else went in okay. Now, what I also noticed is that there's 3 IC chips. 2 of them are identical. See if we can focus that. There's that one there in the center, and this one down here. They're both Texas Instruments TL072CP. That one's identical as well, and this one isn't. Now, because there's no instructions, you don't actually know which one goes where, and because they're all 8-pin, they all fit into the same slots, and I don't know if they do the same thing because I didn't check it. But I've got them in the right spots. The pictures on eBay were used as reference. The pictures on eBay, I will note, were incorrect in wiring this up. So I swapped one of the ground wires around to here. Now, how I've worked this out for reference for anyone else who's building one of these kits, the center wire is ground. Okay, this is your I guess your positive. Okay, and then here, this wire, which goes down to the bottom, you can't see, that's the switchable wire. That connects the ground. Now, the whole point of this switchable jack is so if you're running on battery power, which I'm not, what happens is that you can use it and the battery won't die when you unplug it. And that's also something to keep in mind when you do have this in operation. If you are using battery power, then make sure you unplug it so the battery doesn't drain. Apart from that, everything works okay. Third time was a charm. Excuse the cat in the background. He's really hungry, and my housemate hasn't fed him. It's his cat, her cat. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put the knobs on it, and next video coming up will be the demo of how it sounds. I've already had a quick go at it secretly, and it sounds okay. Now, one thing I noticed is when the output dial is turned all the way down, no output comes out of this pedal when it is switched on. When it is switched off, it's true bypass, which is nice. So you just get your normal signal. You got your gain, your treble, and your output. So they're pretty sort of standard, straightforward. I'm not going to go into details about how those work. But yeah, tune in for the next video on how it sounds. Thanks, guys.